All right, I am live. All right, I am live. Let me see. How do I get to? I guess that is the chat, huh? Okay, I'm live. Y'all, whoo, baby, 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 baby. I had to move the time back. I'm kind of, I'm kind of busy. I got stuff to do. The only time I really got that I can live stream is when I'm in the kitchen, and I'm gonna be in the kitchen quite a bit today. I'll do a this stream, and then I'm gonna do a live stream later because I got about 50 wine glasses to wash, and I got some other shit to cook and make. It's kind of crazy when you commit to cooking 3 times a day. You buy all these ingredients, and you have to make sure that you actually use it so you don't waste food. And you have to cook a lot because if you buy all these foods, there's no point of doubling back and going to eat out. I mean, you can, sometimes, but for the most part, you don't want to spend money on groceries and then turn around and spend a whole bunch of money eating out. You got to pick a team. You know what I'm saying? You got to pick a team. So this one's called pancakes because that's what I'm about to make. I'm about to make pancakes. I'm doing brunch late. I got up early. All right. And I had to go out here and slave in this garden because when it get hot in Georgia, if you don't get out there early in the morning and get all your watering done, I got stuff in my front yard, side yard, backyard. And I'm doing that all by hand. So my days are quite busy. And then I'm gonna have to do it again at what, 6, 7 o'clock. You gotta water twice a day when it get Georgia heat like this, right? So I'm making brunch, talking shit while I'm making brunch. That's what I'm doing. And I put a link in for anybody who wants to talk. And okay, let me go to cam. How do I turn the cam on? There we go. There we go. So I've had a eventful week. um, I started out getting on the master teacher's nerve by way of his buddy. He got a buddy named AB Media. So they was over there talking trash, talking cash shit, which is fine. Everybody need to talk a little trash every so often. You know what I'm saying? Talking trash is good for the heart. That's what black people do. That's the nature of us. Hey, 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 everybody. But anyway, I am talking about this war, and then I want to talk about relationship perception. And I know that's kind of generic of the saying, but I think a lot of times people, I want to dispel some myths because people think they know folks online. They think they see a glimpse of somebody and they actually understand stuff. And you don't actually know anything about anybody. You can't even imagine who people really are. And a lot of times people just give you what they want you to see, the part of their personality they want to display. It doesn't mean you actually know anything about the person. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean you know anything about a person. Oh, there you go. There go AB Media with his troublemaking ass. I was just talking about you. Pull up, AB. I ain't gonna cuss you out. Pull up. Maybe we can be friends. Maybe we can be friends. I don't know. You funny. But I do want to talk to you, AD Media, about the tech stuff because I think we had a misunderstanding. I think we had a misunderstanding. You thought that I knew about you as a person being in tech. I didn't. I didn't. I didn't know what you did for a living. I didn't know what you did for a living at all. I simply was talking about the conclave and Theo Walsh. I'm on my phone, Loon. And I was talking about making coffee first. That's my list. Y'all see this? I got a whole fucking list because my ass got the ADHD. I got a list. I'm working on it. Hey, what's up, V Dub? I got a fucking list because without this list, I ain't gonna function. So the first thing on the list is coffee and tea. So that's what I'm gonna do. And see, that's what you got to do when you got ADHD. You got to say, okay, one thing at a time. Let me pick it up. Let me do it. Let me finish it. And then I can go on to the next thing. That's what you got to do. Because if you don't do that, your ass will be all over the place. And by the end of the day, you won't have a fucking thing done. That's just the nature of it. Ain't my fault. That's what it is. Oh, got a guess. Let's see who it is. All right, AB. Hey, AB, how are you?
Doing fine, man.
Good. I want to tell you something before we begin. I'm the kind
Okay.
of person that has tolerance for other people's opinion, and I do believe I can be wrong. And I'm not going to call you names or disrespect you, and I will hear you out. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, what's your thoughts, AB? Tell me what you think about me and your interaction, or wherever you want to start. Go ahead.
I wasn't sure if you knew what I did for a living or not, and was not really my concern, really.
Oh, your voice went out. Say it again.
I wasn't sure if you knew about what I did on the regular or not, and I really don't care. But I was just stating what I did for a living.
Yeah, because I
That's not
watched your.
that's not necessarily what I got from what I was watching, and I didn't know you were talking about Theo and the Enclave. Well, shout out to those brothers. There's nothing wrong with what they're doing.
Well, I'll argue that point in a second. No, I'll be honest with you, AB. I don't actually know anything about you. I don't. I don't know anything. I just saw you on Big J's thing when you pulled up. I ain't got a clue about who you. Uh oh, I got to change my earplug. Only thing I know he said about you was that you follow BGS, and that was enough for me just to go ahead and jump on your head. That's all.
Okay.
Hold on one
Well,
second. Hold on one second. Let me switch this earplug. Hold on.
mm,
Shit. Settings, audio. Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I switched it out, so now I can hear you. What were you about to say?
The reason I put up on Big J, I didn't appreciate him going after Ed's mom. We don't go after people's parents like that on here. At least not in our sector of the Black Manosphere.
What did he say about Islam? Because I don't think I was there for that part.
Oh, you were there. He said Ed was making a stream while his dead mom was in the next room, which is not true at all.
You mean he was suggesting that Ed didn't care that she was broken? Is that what you mean?
No, he was suggesting that his mother was dead in another room, and Ed was making a stream in another room while his mom was dead, and that's not true at all.
Oh, okay. Okay. Mm. Yes, I don't know. I don't know anything surrounding that, but I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. So you came up there to defend the honor of uh, a person who's passed away. You saying that wasn't true? Okay, but yeah, I don't know you, and I don't know nothing about you. So when I came up there and he said that you was part of that camp, I said, "Oh, here we go, time to rumble." But I didn't actually know that you were into technology. I had no clue. I don't know nothing about you. I just saw you from that moment, and that's all I got. But yeah, so
So
I guess it's a.
a lot of people that follow BTS are into technology.
But you got a career. They just want to be.
No, they got careers too.
You know what? That kind of could make sense because there's a lot of cyber nerds, cyber geek type people that I think are in that camp. Because I found when I deal with AT, the people who IT, I'm sorry, IT. What I've noticed in IT is a lot of people who are I'm just gonna keep it real. They gotta keep it real. They be kind of like socially awkward and nerdy, and they're in their own world. They into some different, unique things. I'm just you. Come on now, you can admit it. Cyber people, computer geeks, they kind of different. Come
Yeah,
on,
we are. What's the big deal?
it's not a big deal. I'm just saying there's a difference. A lot of times in their social patterns and stuff like that, and I think they blend better with each other a lot of times. You see them be friendly, you know what I mean, towards each other because they have that in common. So I could believe that, yeah, BGS got a lot of cyber geeks over there. I could believe that. I could believe it. But no, I wasn't talking about you. I ain't know nothing about your career. Cause so the issue that I have and what I was speaking on was I think it's funny as fuck how Obsidian and Theo Woff uh proceed to like I feel like they selling dudes pipe dreams. Listening to your stream, I understand you
No,
started
I
learning.
can tell you, cyber security is not a pipe dream. That is there are a lot of people hiring on cybersecurity. That is not a pipe dream.
Okay, let me tell you why I think it's a pipe dream. You say it's not. Let me tell you why I think it's a pipe dream. You started when you was in your 20s, right? With technology.
No, probably around my 17ish.
Okay, even younger. So you started technology at a younger age. Got it? And that means you had lots of practice. You got formal training, AB?
Yes.
Formal formal school. A lot of it, or a little bit.
Some of it.
Did you go to like a 4 year?
No, I went to the 2 years, but I didn't finish.
What training you have is what is it based on? Is it like on the job training or professional development? Like what are you, I'm not attacking you. I'm trying to understand because I don't know how tech works. I assumed you got to have a whole bunch of different degrees to make money in tech. I don't know.
It depends. Your degree doesn't really mean anything. If you're not keeping up with the current trends, your degree doesn't mean much.
Yeah, I could see that because I lost everything I knew. That shit is irrelevant right now. What's up, Bronze? You said AAB around BGS is cool. Yes, yes, yes. He is a one of the. I'm trying to see. I said I wasn't going. He is a devout follower of the BGS
Wow.
cult.
Okay.
Yeah, devout. He's a devotee. That's what we call it in yoga. A devotee. He's a devotee. Yes, yes, correct. Bronsberg. Okay, so you're saying that you don't have to have degrees per se.
It
So
helps, but it may not help in every situation, depending on if you keep up with what's going on.
okay, if I so let me ask you this: if I go to somebody's online cyber class, I'm gonna call it a cyber course that's not accredited by any real organization that
Okay.
everybody recognizes. If I take such a thing, do I really have a chance? And don't think about it in terms of who you know and what. I'm just asking a question
Okay.
because okay, there's a lot of institutes that open up and they swear they're going to teach people skills, but they're not accredited. They take all of those folks' money, and then them people can't find no job. So I'm asking you in cyber or tech or whatever, can you take a certificate based online course and think that you're going to actually be able to be taken seriously and hired in the field? I'm asking.
Yes, if you make your portfolio right, yes, they can take you very seriously.
And so you're saying they don't have a standard like you have to have this particular degree or certification from
It
this
depends
type
on the
of,
company.
huh?
It depends on the company.
That's interesting. So you saying pretty much anybody who got some skills, whether they are formally trained with certain certifications, certificates, and all that stuff, you saying they can enter the field.
Yes, particularly considering we're way behind China. They don't have time to just figure out who has a degree anymore.
Now I'm going to check all this you talking about here. I just want you to know
Okay.
I'm listening to you, but I ain't never seen no field where you can make no significant amount of money and the entry point is so easy to approach. I ain't seen that before. So let's
But
say I got
no one's it's not that doesn't mean it's easy, but you may not necessarily need a degree depending on what the field is and the context of what company you're working for. There's nothing easy about what we do.
Yeah, tech be boiling my brain, so I get it. Trust me, I get it. The little bit I did was boiling my brain. Um, so let me ask you this: if somebody got some skills and they want to enter, and they just got a certificate from an online platform that's not necessarily known by some institute, it's not necessarily accredited. What if they get a company that would hire them? You can name a job. I just want you to give me a sample. What kind of pay can they expect starting?
Once again, it depends on the company. It can start from 60,000 and it can go up to as much as 100K.
Do you have to get a lot of years of experience to get to that level, though?
Once again, it depends on the company. Some companies ask for experience, even though the technology is like a year old. Good luck finding somebody with experience in it, but
Well, see, AB, my thinking is so much of that. You hear what you keep saying. I'm not saying you're lying, right? But so much of what you're saying is like it depends. It depends. It depends, and that's why I'm skeptical. Not of you, but of this whole concept, because everything depends. It might be a company. They might hire you. They might pay you good if you have some experience. They might. There's a lot of unknowns, and it looks like it's a lot of lack
it's
of
always been
clarity.
like that.
Hmm.
It's always been like that.
Well, yeah, the entry point is the problem for me. I'm trying to buy this in the real world. I'm trying to buy and I'm not getting you to defend it. I'm just looking at that's why I'm criticizing them. Because I'm gonna tell you what I think.
Okay.
What I see them doing is telling older men, and this is what I'm talking about. They're telling older men, hey, what's up, cynical one? They're telling older men, okay, when I say older, I'm talking about 40 plus, because I'm looking at the physical crowd from the pictures.
Okay.
They're telling older men, listen, you can start a career in whatever, cybersecurity, tech, web design, whatever they're selling. I don't know the details, but they're saying you can come, you can
Security.
enter, huh?
Mostly cybersecurity. I would imagine it's encrypting and stuff like that.
So they're telling them that they can do that, and you admit that it's not easy to do. You said it ain't just any old walk in the park, right?
Nope.
Okay,
There's a lot of
so you're
systems to understand. Like what operating system you're working on, what kind of database you're working on, what kind of
okay.
format are you using, JSON, XML, and everybody uses a different system depending on the database.
Okay, so you already got background knowledge, so that way you're already starting off a step ahead. You know about databases, you know about all these different things. You got 20 years in, which I didn't know. You got 20 years or 20 plus years in, okay? These
Yes,
guys,
I do.
right? A lot of these guys, this is why I'm saying, in my mind, it's a hustle. And I say that because a lot of these guys are 40 plus, and I have already talked about in my video how I tried to teach technology to teachers who already use some basic technology. And it's like pulling teeth. They cannot be taught. I'm not saying they're slow. I'm just telling you that technology and some of these older minds that are not already engaged, and like what Gabe said, when you're older and you've been doing the work, like when you get 55 and 60, you're going to be able to do your work and add skills and go to the next level. But for somebody who's just walking in the door, no computer background experience, no formal training, and then you have somebody telling you, I'm going to give you a certificate, and then you may or may not get a job because you may or may not really have any experience. And you're gonna walk in and you're gonna make 100,000. These dudes, I'm telling you, AB, they be on the internet bragging, talking about how they're gonna make six figures. This is not right. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, it depends on the individual. Some older people may not be inclined to learn quickly, and some older people, it may take them longer. It depends on the person.
Okay, that's fair. But I just think a lot of them are buying. I don't think they got any breaks. I think in their mind, they're like, I'm going to get this certificate fast and easy. There's a lot of open promises,
Oh, I
you
assure you,
know.
I assure you, if they're deep into it, they don't think it's going to come fast and easy. I can assure you that. If they've been in field class for more than 3 or 4 months, I can assure you they don't think it's going to be fast and easy.
Okay. Well, I mean, the way they talk about it, I've seen some of them talk about it. There was a guy who was with what's his name? And forgive my ignorance because I know you got cybersecurity, then you got web masters and all these other different things. You got AI, you got programmers. There's a lot of different fields here, so forgive me for mixing them up
Okay,
sometimes. But there was this guy called Real Life with Rilla, I believe. Are you familiar with him?
not necessarily.
He used to hang with Austin Holloman, and I know he was
The
trying to
passport,
get online, huh?
passport bro, Austin Holloman.
Yeah, yeah, him.
Okay,
He's his buddy. I'm giving you a point of reference. He's his buddy. And I remember he had came back from the Philippines and he was going on and on about how he was going to get a job online. And I've heard a lot of passport bros, I'm going to get a job online doing this tech thing. I'm going to make six figures abroad. I just heard a lot of red pill passport bros and these dudes online acting as if somehow they get a certificate in some kind of tech stuff that they're going to make six figures.
well, a lot of databases are web based, so it's very possible for them to make 6 figures online. They could be in another country as long as they have an internet connection and they can properly maintain the security of a database that's online.
You're right, it's possible, but these are 40 something year old men who've never, a lot of them, touched any technology. They have no background, no job experience, and they don't have a whole lot of formal education. How realistic is it now? Come on.
Depends on the person.
You with the hustle. You with the hustle, AB. You just with the hustle.
Well,
Hey,
if the dude knows how to type and is pretty articulate, he can learn very quickly how to the work with cybersecurity and other things.
okay, learn how to work is learning is one thing. My whole thing is I feel like they selling these dudes pipe dreams. You're gonna be a what do they call it? Nomadic, global nomadic, some shit like that. The digital
Well, it's up to the
nomad.
individual man to make it happen.
Say what?
That's the risk we take by taking the class. It's up to us to make it happen. Risk is part of the game.
See, I'm too compassionate. I'm too compassionate. A lot of sisters would be like, man, talk to them niggas. They talking shit anyway. I'm just like, don't hustle the brothers. Don't kill their dream. They know it just look crazy to me. And you got to defend this. You said
We're
that
not
I'm
giving the
wrong.
dream, we're given the opportunity to achieve the dream.
Well, some people say Trump University was an opportunity too. See, you can call anything a damn opportunity, but the likelihood of you actually being successful, like what is that? You see what I'm saying? You can call anything. Get with me, AB. Get with me what I'm saying. There are things, and I'm not talking about Theo Woff in this particular thing, but you got to admit that there are people who are selling you an idea that you can get somewhere fast and easy. And I'm gonna tell you, in my life, I have not come across.
There are snake oil salesmen. I don't think Theo's one of them, but yeah, there are oil salesmen that'll sell you a pipe dream, man. You know,
Yeah, and I'm not talking about Theo when I'm talking about this. I'm just saying that, yeah, that does exist. And everything that I have ever seen that they're selling, oh, you're going to do this overnight. You're going to make so much money. I had my real estate agent
I can
talk me
guarantee.
into, I
Go
had a
ahead.
real estate agent. Let me tell you, I had a real estate agent. She talked me into going, I'm selling you your house, but I just want to invite you to a very big opportunity. And it was something called Prime America. And she blowed it up. Oh, we sell all the products, the biggest products in the world, and some. The smartest people in America create this company. Oh, she had a whole. I went in there, and I'm not trying to be mean, but the only thing I saw was a bunch of broke ass people at this gathering doing money dances over 300, $200 that they didn't got after they didn't work them 1,000 hours for. marketing and dragging people to buy some insurance. And I just said, are you serious? And that's what I came across. I realized that every single time I've seen people get rich, do some get a lot for nothing, it's always a hustle. That's my thought. What do you think?
Yeah, it depends on. You have to be careful with who you deal with. That's always a risk that you can get scammed if if you're looking for a very quick way of doing something. That's always a risk. But I wouldn't consider what Theo's teaching a quick get rich quick scam. You have to really know what you're doing. Crypto is no joke. Cryptography is no joke.
I believe that. I believe that. I just
And
see.
I'll give you an example.
Uh,
Um, a lot of young people, because we're both in our 40s. A lot of young people like to text use send nude pics to each one another. I do not recommend that at all. If somebody breaks that encryption when you send that over to your phone,
mhm.
encrypted. If somebody breaks that encryption, your naked pictures are on the internet for everybody to see, or on the dark web for everybody to see. I do not recommend. Now, if you want to do that in private, that's your business. But I would not send that over texting or nothing like that.
You said nasty pictures.
Yeah,
I would argue don't even get that shit in a digital format.
yeah, pretty much. Because no, you're not wrong about that. Because if it gets on the internet, if somebody breaks that encryption and somebody gets to the database, there's not much you can do about that.
Yeah, you got Google images, and then sometimes it'll copy the damn file automatically somewhere else. Should be moving, and sometimes you don't even know your smartphone is pre-programmed to move shit. Or backup. It's on the server. Those pictures are on a server somewhere.
Well, look, all Facebook is, all YouTube is really is a database. They all your videos and stuff, all that gets stored in a large database.
Right?
That's why you could type your name in, you could look something up. If you have enough followers and it's got enough traction, it pulls up. It's talking to a
Right.
query in a database. That's how the search engine works.
So you wanted to argue with me and say that these guys did. You said they did plan their lives, and I was saying they did not plan in their lives. Do you see why I say they're not planning their lives?
No, not necessarily. Why? How are they not planning their lives?
In my perfect world, I believe people are supposed to start at 17, 16, 17, 18, deciding some kind of direction.
That's
I want to go to,
that's the thing.
huh?
We don't live in a perfect world. Sometimes
Yeah,
we got to start. We got to start where we can. Sometimes some dudes may not have had that opportunity at 15, 16, 17, 18, but now they do, and they're taking advantage of it. And there's nothing wrong with that.
okay, you are being an optimist. Okay, you're being an optimist, and you're giving them credit for trying.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
Whether
Some of them might fail, but that's that person's responsibility. That's why I said risk is part of the game. There's a risk that some of them might fail, and that's fine. This is not an easy field to be in. It's not a perfect world to be in. So
right, but I guess for me, I'm looking at the fact that a lot of them are wasting a lot of time online. Because I've said this 1,000 times over and over again. The time that a lot of these dudes, and they're not only dudes, it's chicks too, spending on the internet. I'm looking at productivity. I'm big on productivity. That's just me. And I have a feeling that a lot of these guys, the way they spend and waste time on the internet, time is money and,
yeah,
and opportunity. And they're going from place to place. And these are some of the same guys talking about, yeah, I'm about to be six figures as soon as I finish this training. And I'm like, you catching up. And that's why you got to have these unrealistic expectations because you got to catch up because you're making up for lost time and wasted opportunity. And so that's why I say I don't think a lot of these dudes that I'm talking about, and I'm not talking about everybody, but I'm just saying I don't think that they have actually planned their lives. In my opinion, 16, 17, 18, you should get your ass up as a grown ass person, male or female, and you got to make some decisions. Oh, I want to be a housewife, or oh, I want to, be a wage worker, or I want to be a business owner. I want to go to college. I want to go to the military. You got to make some decisions early on, and you may change your mind, but have a fucking plan. And I see a whole bunch of train wreck ass people who don't have a plan for their life, and they get on the internet. Isn't that wrong with that? Don't get on the internet and be arrogant. That's the part that pissed me off. That's the part that pissed me off. Don't get on the internet and be arrogant.
Okay, to a degree, you do have to have a plan at that age, but sometimes that plan doesn't work out. Sometimes the technology changes and the industry changes, and you have to adapt. And that's what some of these brothers are doing.
Some, yeah. Now the career change, I don't see nothing wrong with that. I think that's fucking normal. If you don't have a career change, you a weird person, in my opinion. Very few people start off with a first job, first skill, first title or industry and stay there for 40, 50 years. That used to happen with the boomers. You know, you might
Mhm.
start off as a trained tech engineer or some shit, and you die a trained tech engineer. But these days, yeah, people they switch up industries. They realize this industry is actually more palatable or there's more money, and they get new training and they go on to do something better. Or you get tired, you get bored. I mean, I was a teacher, and I did that for like 16, 17 years, and I did my limit. I wasn't gonna last no 40 years. So I get it.
Okay.
So you a reasonable person when you ain't with the bullshit, AB. I'm a reasonable person too. I like messing with BGS because BGS he got some layers to him, boy. He got some layers. He
You
got
have no
some
idea.
layers. Huh?
You have no idea.
Oh, I can't even imagine. I know. I can't even begin to imagine.
Not a
He
bad
fashion.
pancake.
Huh?
Not a bad pancake.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, he fascinates me. BGS fascinates me, if I'm honest. He fascinates me. I like eccentric people. Okay? I don't
Okay.
like boring people. There's a lot of people in the world who are boring as hell. BGS is far from boring. I think I ain't gonna say nothing disparaging. I'm just gonna say that he's very creative, and yeah, and that creativity is why he be like, why does May keep bothering me? Why she won't leave me alone? That's why this alter world is very interesting to me on a lot of levels. On a lot of levels.
No, you're entitled
So
to your opinion.
huh?
You're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I yeah, I understand that BGS is many things to many people. I totally get it. I get it, and I respect it. And I think the main thing that I've had, I'm not gonna talk about him too long because he's not here. But the main thing that I have tried to tell BGS is I just believe that he could so easily just like become an optimist and just like, brothers, you can do this. The world, the oyster is yours. Here's how to do it. And like really help and
He
like
does tell
get
us that to a degree.
say what?
He does tell us that to a degree.
AB, that's not true. He mostly tells y'all how you gonna struggle and fail and how this society and the economy is gonna eat you up, and mostly it's a bunch of depressing shit, in my opinion.
Well, if you
Depressing.
study geopolitics, it's actually very depressing.
That's what I'm saying. It's so much positivity in the world, and I just don't understand why he. I kind of understand, but I don't. Why he can't just give that one little he's got the teacher thing, he's got the enthusiastic leader thing. It would take very little for him just to be like, guys, listen, a lot of y'all got some stuff, some struggles and some things to go through. We're gonna
Yeah.
do this together. We're gonna do this together. Like when you have a bunch of fat ass people, it happened to me one time. I went to a boot camp, and so it's the same thing. Like he could do a positive boot camp and like make help these dudes make a change. And it's my problem. I got too much compassion. I ought to be like most of these chicks. Man, fuck them dudes. I got too much compassion. And I just feel like they all depressed. That's all I hear is depression. Depression, depression, depression. And I just think of like a boot camp, bunch of fat ass people. You all acknowledge, okay, I'm fat. And then you get your ass up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and that person's like, okay, fat asses, let's go. We know what the problem is. Let's knock these calories out. Let's go, let's go. And that's all I'm saying. BGS, it could be BGS's boot camp. And he could make these men happy. They might actually find some goddamn women. I'm serious, some nice women. That's just my opinion now.
Well,
Let me
BS
see.
is not going to make everybody happy. That's how it works.
He said, Gabe, Gabe, we're gonna be nice today. Gabe talking about we got a helmet over here. Nah, he's he's a member, but he ain't gone. He ain't gone. He ain't gone, Gabe. He ain't gone. Let me see what else Gabe said. He said we can't blame BGS anymore. We gotta blame these mindless followers. I think they I think they come for hope and they end up depressed. That's my honest opinion, Gabe. I think they come for hope. And in the process of hearing all that angry shit, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But in the process of hearing all that angry shit, they get stuck in angry. That's what I think. I think they get stuck in anger. This an ugly one. This one
Some
right here.
dudes do get stuck in red pill rage. Do you have a time for it? Some dudes do get stuck in red pill rage. That doesn't mean you need to
Yeah.
stay there. That doesn't mean you need to stay there. But
Okay. And so that's the thing. Teaching resilience. Me as a teacher, I love to teach young people resilience.
well, you
How to
mentioned that BGS needs to reach out and teach resilience. I noticed when we were on Big J's stream, you kept looking at his titles. Well, those kind of titles attract people need to be talked to, and we try to talk to those brothers and try to talk them off the ledge and doing crazy stuff.
when you say crazy stuff like what? You ain't got to go crazy. I mean, not crazy, but you ain't got to tell me in extreme. But when you say crazy stuff, you mean like maybe they're self harming? Is that what you mean?
Um,
Possibly.
Not
Or go
necessarily
to
harming, but always worrying about a woman that rejected them. Move on. Rejection. We teach over there. Rejection is part of life. If a woman don't want you, leave her to herself and go find another woman. There are 4 billion other women on the planet.
and I see y'all teaching dudes to be without women, to avoid women. That's what I see y'all doing, to be honest.
Depends on the environment.
AB, you making up stuff. You making up stuff
I am.
because yes, you're making up stuff because you're not talking about resilience on your channel. Be honest, you're not talking about these are nice women. This is how you find a good woman. Y'all thing is to say there's no good women. They don't exist. They're so hard to find. And I heard BGS say they already married. So there's none out here and we just stuck. Might as well be a monk. Come on now, that's some basic pessimistic shit. It is. It's pessimistic. And whether y'all admit it or not, most men work so they can have a family. They work so they can have a wife, a girlfriend, something to do with their money. Most men do.
That's true. but some men can't find wives, especially nowadays, because unfortunately, women nowadays are not trained to be wives.
See, here you go. This rhetoric y'all have is cyclical. I need a wife, but I can't have one. But I still need one, but I can't have one. And it goes, it's chicken and egg, chicken and egg. And all I'm telling you is that dance y'all doing is a dance of destruction. Meanwhile, the sun is coming and the sun is going. People are making money. People are moving on. Things are happening in the world. The world is going on and leaving y'all behind. That's what I'm arguing.
Okay.
The world is leaving y'all behind. And y'all gonna waste a lot of y'all time and energy on being unhappy. I'm just saying, this is the life that God has given you. And y'all gonna waste it on focusing on problems and not being resilient. And I'm just saying, if y'all would promote a
How do you know
culture of
how do you know we're unhappy?
oh please, y'all are some most depressed brothers I ever seen in my life. Look in the chat. Come on, AB, quit playing crazy. Look in the damn chat. Anger, frustration, rage. Uh-oh, I got a guess. Hold on, let me see who that is. Oh, hold on, don't go nowhere. I'm trying to figure out how to get this guest. Ah, hold on, Gabe. Add to the stage. Got it. Hey, Gabe, what's
Man.
up?
Hey, how's it going, May?
Good.
This again.
Right, right.
AB.
What again? What again?
It's this whole thing that you all always say, hey, we're not resentful of black women. We don't have any issue with black women, but yet you spend so much time ideating on all of the ills and how black women have caused so many issues within the community. You all are jaded.
Some of them have.
You all are jaded against.
Not all of them. Some of them have.
So then, what's the solution then? Right? Is it to create AI art of black women in some negative light?
No.
Well, didn't y'all just do a review last night on black women's negative
Uh-oh.
tropes of black women? Like y'all was going through it and laughing about it. That's not.
Hold on. Can you explain, Gabe, what did you see them doing?
So I saw AB had a stream on AI. I'm like, oh, okay, let me listen in because I typically don't listen in often. And then I came in on a part where they were going over negative AI Keisha art of black women cursing each other out and in fast food and in Walmart. They just going through it laughing and saying, yeah, that's how they are. This is it. And then I think AB, like you even make AI.
For the record, I did not make those AIs. That's what people have been posting on TikTok. I had nothing to do with that.
But I'm saying that's the subject matter that y'all cover.
And to be honest with you, Dave, I wish they would make more positive versions of black women on there.
But I'm saying though, like y'all,
I don't believe you.
But the content that you're covering is not whether you made it or not. It's that the content that you're covering is about negative ideas of black women. That's the primary content that is covered. Okay, so I'm saying, so just like May said, y'all aren't focusing on resilience. Y'all aren't focusing on finding a good black woman or anything. Y'all focusing on all of the negatives and the ills of what y'all think black women have. Mm-hmm.
That was just one part of the stream. It didn't even last that very long. I think it was like 30 minutes.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Out of a 3-hour stream. I actually started the stream with the president's address that that he bombed Iran.
I bet you thought that was good too, didn't you?
No, not really.
Oh, you didn't? Okay. You got it.
Bad idea. Not really.
Okay, you gotta admit, AB, your thing is always trying to be a scapegoat. Okay.
I'll be back. Yep.
Are you okay? AB, you gotta admit that one of the things that you do is you try to say, well, it's only part, so the rest is okay. You gotta admit that.
It is only part.
See, that's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. Gabe, when you can come back, because Gabe, I want to have you a cyber security person, and You may have a different perspective, Gabe, because you also have a background in it. So, Gabe, when you can, come back and talk about the cybersecurity part. I know he's like me, he got to handle family business in between. That's why I was so late with my stream. I had to fix my husband's food and take care of my daughter. So I had to come on a little bit later than I planned. But anyway, yeah, Gabe, if you can, when you come back, if you don't mind talking about this cybersecurity and your perceptions about how people can get a job or not get a job with certain amount of experience. But AB, you really do. You you like one of those people. You be like, I'm not that dude. It's them, and then you that dude. I'm just telling you, you that dude. You be all in the mix. Yeah, you all in the mix. And the thing is, you angry about something. You angry about something towards somebody because that gives you pleasure to be talking smack. Look, the black women lost their job. Ha ha ha. Or look at them fight. Ha ha ha.
I'm laughing about that.
Huh?
There's nothing funny about them losing 300,000 jobs this year.
Yeah. Well, I had some guy. I can't remember where it was, but he said he was happy about it. Oh, it was on BGS's stream. He was like, I am happy. Ha ha ha. I was like, really? That makes you happy? And he had some explanation about how it opens up jobs for men or something, but I'm not really buying that. I'm not buying it. I don't think that the two have a
It's
correlation.
complicated.
Hmm?
There's a lot of history behind that. Affirmative action was originally meant for black men to get jobs, but they changed the language and they made it so white women could get the jobs more than anybody else.
What makes you think that these damn women got affirmative action jobs? Why you assuming that?
Well, you're a double minority. Because see, affirmative action is really based on sex, and they decide, and you check a lot of boxes: female, different race. So you have more opportunities than black men.
See, this is the thing that's funny. Y'all just assume anytime you're gonna see a black woman or a woman or whatever person, you're gonna just say to yourself, "Oh, you got that job because you're X, Y, and Z." I would submit to you there's a
Well,
lot of
well,
people.
black
There's a
women.
lot of people that did not get a job because
Hold on, wait a
there's a
minute.
lot of people. Go ahead.
Some black women are qualified for the jobs that they do. I did not say they were all weren't qualified.
I'm not talking about qualifications. I'm saying that the fact that they're even hired got nothing to do with it's got nothing to do with affirmative action. They didn't get hired because they're black or female.
On the job,
They
it has
just got hired. Huh?
everything to do with affirmative action. They get money for hiring minorities and black women having racial quotas.
I got my job and it had nothing to do with a racial quota. Can you come back, Gabe? Gabe, I was trying to press the button. Oh, he is there. Okay. Add to the stage.
Hello.
Yeah, Gabe, when you get a chance, can you talk about you heard that part I was talking about with AB about whether or not these little quick, fast cybersecurity classes are gonna get people a career with no experience when they're 40 for learning for the first time. Whenever you get a chance, I'd like to
They
hear your
won't.
thoughts.
I can just get a short answer. No, they won't. Those.
Damn, he just
I mean, I hire
go
for these
ahead.
roles all the time. I hire for these roles all the time, and nobody is looking for somebody with just a quick boot camp type of experience to just jump in. Now, let me tell you, May, what I think a lot of these quick boot camper organizations do. They falsify people's experience. They make like they have more experience than they really do in order for them to get some of those high paying jobs. Because just think about it. Say, for
Hmm.
instance, you're I don't know, and not that this is a bad occupation, but say, for instance, you're like a fisherman or something, right? And then
Hmm.
you take a course in cybersecurity or data science or software engineering for a couple of months, and then you get hired into a $150,000 role. You really think that the hiring manager has a recognition that you have just been doing this for 2 months and want to pay you high salaries for something that you're pretty much entry level to? No. So I think that's what a lot of people are doing in order to try to up their market value. But no, I would say 2 months, a couple of boot camp courses, and getting into the field. Nah, that's not something that's typical.
Okay. Can you give us? Go ahead, AB. Go ahead.
I hope these dudes ain't waiting just 2 or 3 months to get in stuff like cybersecurity. You need at least a year experience with some of the encryption and stuff. Yeah. If somebody's telling you can get a job within 2 or 3 months, like doing a cybersecurity course, they're lying to you. You have to really study that stuff. As I told you, May, this is not an easy field to be in.
Right, but
I told her, Gabe, there are some dudes who want to fall through the cracks. I know.
So I'm not trying to open up any. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I'm listening.
I think his audio might have cut out.
AB, did your audio cut out? We can't hear you.
You hear me?
We can hear you now.
We can hear you now.
But I told her that not every dude's going to make it. It's up to that individual.
Nah, we need more structure than that. So we gotta talk about it. Gabe, you do hiring. Please, let's talk about what's real though.
So what's real is that a lot of times people are coming into this field with some type of degree at the foundation. I know everybody's saying degrees are going out of there. Nobody's caring about degrees. Yes, we are. You look at a lot of these job postings for cybersecurity, software engineering, data science, any of these emerging tech fields. Many times a degree is the foundation for getting one of these roles. And a lot of times a degree in some type of STEM related field, right? So that's like at the bottom. Yes. Sorry, 1 second. So I'll say that, and I'll be right back. I got some.
Sure.
Well, that goes to my other point. It depends on where he's hiring at. Did someone might need a degree, and that's fine.
I just think you got to do some quality control on the front end. That's just my opinion as a professional. I feel like you got to tell people what it is and what it ain't on the front end. Like it's like for me, like my background as a teacher. No, I won't use that. I'll use business. It's like me telling somebody, go take this event planning class online and download, get yourself certified by this so-called online company. Print you out some contracts from LegalZoom.com, buy you a little bit of stuff, and start calling people. I'd be misleading you. That's not how you do the business. You see what I'm saying? Get in there quick formulas. But go ahead, Gabe. You were speaking on it.
Now I was gonna say, like, I don't want to listen. I'm not saying that these are any of your thoughts or any of AB's thoughts, but this whole enclave AI cybersecurity thing, this thing is not. Listen, it's not passing a sniff test for somebody who has been in the field, right? I mean, I get it. Somebody is trying to train people to jump in the field, but I mean, there are a lot of holes there. I mean, they were saying people are having difficulty reading. They're saying folk are not computer literate at all. I mean, how are you getting but at the same time, they're claiming to get all these black men into high six figures, tech jobs. Like, it's something, and it's all within an event or some type of course that is like over time. I don't know, man. This stuff is sounding fishy. It's sounding fishy. And it's like, it's not a training academy. It's like one guy that's shelling out information. I mean, and do these people have prerequisites? Are they already in the field and they're getting started? Like, I don't know. Like, it's a lot of question marks and clouds around this and fog that it's really not passing the sniff test. Do you know what interactions between myself and Theo have been in the past?
No, not necessarily.
Okay, he tells me to suck Chewbacca's nuts. That's what he says.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
And he says that anybody who goes into who looks at CompTIA as quality certifications is a CompTIA Pookie, and he's just been disrespectful over the time in which I've interacted with him over on Bernard Riley's panel or Teapots over the years. So there really isn't too much discussion that I really need to have with Theo.
Okay.
Or any
Yeah.
further, I would say.
And see, I just be honest. I was looking at that stuff just organically. I don't have nothing against no engagement with Theo, none. So I don't have anything to gain. All I was doing is looking at all the guys who were talking about how they're going to make six figures. Like it's going to be a fast cleanup. All of a sudden, I'm going to be a
Mhm.
professional. I'm going to quickly get into the field and I'm going to dominate. I'm going to be a six figure. I'm going to make,
said that, but okay.
huh?
Well, that's how it's been advertised.
Yeah.
Remote tech jobs for brothers who want to be passport bros. That's really how it's been advertised. He's been doing it with who's that other guy? Some other travel guy who does Python programming. I mean, that's really how it's been advertised. Where right now, when you really want to look at it, the tech job market is difficult as a whole. It's difficult for anybody to get in right
Just
now.
looking at marketing. Yep. For me, looking at marketing and advertising, I was just like, and also the fact that I know how long it takes to learn stuff as a teacher, especially people who are learning new tricks at an old age. I'm like, and that's something you got to consider too. Do you have a natural affinity? The two of you, I've heard your story, Gabe. You already had a love for science, math, technology. You know, you're curious. AB, clearly, he started young. There's nobody talking about, are you cut out for this? Like you said, what is the point of entry? What are the prerequisites?
Some
Do you have
people
any
are
particular
cut out
skill?
for it. Depends on the dude. Not everybody's gonna be cut out for it.
But it ain't being sold like that. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah. It's like this is the
Some people
solution.
find out whether or not they're cut out for it.
So, a question I have, Gabe, what does it take for somebody to get, which is use your field because I don't know any other
Yeah.
particular fields. What does it take for somebody to make 200,000 and up?
200K and up. Well, one, I think at a high level, you have to have in-demand skills to some degree. Let's see, I was able to transition into kind of that salary range when I was doing nuclear cybersecurity. So cybersecurity specifically for commercial nuclear power plants around the world. Very niche skill set. Because it's so niche, that drove up my value. Another thing is visibility. Having a LinkedIn account that is visible to whoever you're trying to advertise to. You're active on there. You're showing your skills, certifications, education. So education, certifications, in-demand skills, I think will get you there, and also experience, years of experience. Because you can have all of those other things, but if you don't have experience, like I would say probably at least like 3 to 5 years or so of experience to get to that salary. It might be more now because of how competitive it is in the market, but those are the ones that I'm thinking. Education, certifications, niche, in-demand skills, and experience.
Okay. That's a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot. And let me throw this one in there. A little bit of luck. A little bit of luck in there. I'm not gonna lie. Being at the right place at the right time for you to be presented with an opportunity. I mean, it's not easy.
And professionalism. I mean, that goes a long way, you know.
Yeah.
Professionalism, networking, and
Right.
a lot of these people talking about all this training. Are they even providing networks? Are they trusted networks? Do the network, are they have any value to them? In my experience, a lot of times getting in where you want to be, you got to kind of know people sometimes. You got to have people
Right.
skills, social skills, you know, sometimes.
And that's why some of the initial Theo stuff was really weird, because he came in dissing all the black tech men that were already in like around the black beltsphere, like myself, Keep It Techie. He was dissing Citizen Lou. He was dissing whoever was kind of around already. And he kind of like created his own thing. He said, well, we understand what these guys are doing. They're not doing what's good. They're not doing what's the best. Screw them. this is our group, and that's how all that whole, what they call it, what they call it, like-minded men stuff with the conclave, or previously the meetup stuff has started. They had a separation politically, from a social group, a networking group, and we just kind of was just like, all right, for sure, like y'all do y'all thing. But then, it just kept on. The separation continued even to this day. A little bit of history there and context, but
Necessary. Now I'm
yeah.
curious how much. I'm curious how much does this class cost and how long does it take? And in your opinion, if you was hiring for that position, how much would you pay somebody who made such an investment?
I don't know. There's so many, and I don't want to just overbear the panel because I know AB is here, but I would say there's so many reputable organizations and certification paths out there. A lot of times we do look for reputability in the certifications and the training that people have got. The SANS GIAC, so that's a certain cybersecurity certification training and certification body. That's very reputable. That the CompTIA is very reputable. CEH is here and there. The ISC Square Information System Security organization, they're also reputable. So I don't know. When you look at somebody's resume and it says, "Hey, a guy from the Black Manosphere," I don't really know how they reference it on their resumes. Like, is it a training organization? Theo's Academy. He's trained me up in cloud computing and cybersecurity, and that's how I know how to do what I'm doing. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't. Got to kind of be known. I'm not gonna lie.
Recommends that they get certain certifications before they go out to find work.
Sure. So a lot of times he recommends like AWS Cloud Practitioner, AWS Cloud Essentials. He recommends like some of those certifications. Yeah, for cloud computing, sure. But a certification without those other pieces, it's not enough. It's not enough.
Okay, so
And
they
even
have to
AWS
go
gives
and
those
learn more.
certifications. Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Okay, so it's a path that they're starting with Theo. I don't know if they're telling them that. Are they telling them that, y'all? Did you?
They say Theo gets them these jobs. They say Theo, they go from his course into the job. That's the way I've
brothers who said they got jobs off of what Theo's taught them. So yeah.
Okay.
I'm
just saying that there's nothing like nothing visible, no real content. Like, yeah, I just leave it there because it's just no real evidences of going from the course to the job. I'm not seeing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just our opinions that it just looks. And you know what? He might have a good thing going, but I'm just telling you the way that the dudes are talking about it and the way they're marketing it to other people, it just looks like a fish oil salesperson. Not him. I'm not saying Theo, but they look like they're caught in a scheme. You know what I'm saying? It looks like a hurry up, fix it fast, learn it easy. It's gonna take nothing out of you. Anytime I hear people try to show you something that takes nothing out of you, not much is required, and you get a lot of payoff, I'm always skeptical. You know.
I've never heard anybody say that it's not going to take anything out of you, and I would look at them crazy if they did say that. But yeah.
So it's the certifications, but how about those other pieces, like the resume building and experience and a degree? What's the focus in on that beyond the certifications?
I went to taking this class, so I couldn't tell you, but I would assume they have their resume in order before they go out and ask for work.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm not
to give it, but yeah.
It's just that when I hear results and saying we're getting all these black men 6-figure jobs, they can passport bros are changing everything. This is different from what Keisha said.
Most of the brothers
Type of
don't
thing.
want to disclose their job. That's their business.
But Theo and Obsidian, they take credit for these men's successes. They say that this is what they're doing. But if they're not disclosing the jobs and we don't really know what's happening, it's just words. Like, where's the evidence?
I agree with that. I agree with that.
So,
and I'll be honest with you, I don't know if it's a collective pretend. Honestly, sometimes that happens. Everybody gonna pretend. Now I can tell people that I'm X, Y, and Z, and we all go. Like, I'm gonna just say, I'm not trying to be funny, but I have some. My ex-husband was from Africa, and a lot of his friends and him, they were working like hard as hell in the United States. And they all pretending that it's so easy. They're not telling people I work 2-3 jobs to make this little bit of money. And so it's like a collective lie. You know what I'm saying? When they sending all that money, they're not telling people, man, I'm dying for this shit that I got to give you. What you say?
My father is Nigerian. I've grown up around some of those influences, and that is what they do. That's one thing I've always hated about Nigerian culture. They lie so often. They front like they're just this big and this amazing, successful, professional, when in many cases they struggling just like everybody else. But they'll never be realistic about where they really are. They'll front until
their family.
They make it. Yes, to their families. Because they want everything to look so pristine. They want everything to look in place and on point. So they front a lot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm particularly speaking on how much money they send at home. They send at home $5,000. They're not saying, man, I went through blood, sweat, and tears, man. I had to work hard for that shit. They would just act like, oh, it's nothing. Just take it. They don't mind. They don't mind throwing their truth about how hard they work. They don't mind throwing that under the bus. American will tell you real quick, man, I ain't giving you shit, man. You know how hard I work for this money? But they don't do that. A lot of West Africans don't do that. So, but I have to say, Nigerians are some of the most fabulous motherfuckers I have met. I see them doing impressive shit. So most of them ain't lying about their accomplishments. But when it comes to fronting and being a lot more than maybe they are, I do see that. I definitely see that.
Indeed, and I got to drop again.
No problem.
Yeah, I got to drop too.
All right, then. Peace.
I got something to do.
All right, peace. Appreciate you, Gabe. All right, AB. Do you still want to fight? You still want to scrap? Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay, cool. I ain't gonna talk no more trash about you.
Okay.
All right, cool. Appreciate you. All right, it's back to me. Y'all see what I did? It's back to me. Okay, these berries, I got these blackberries out the backyard. And so I made them on my pancake and sausage. And I got my coffee. So I'm going to sit here and eat while I talk to y'all. I usually don't eat at the stove, but hell, this is where the camera is. So I'm going to eat at the stove. My daughter's eating over there. Are you eating your pancakes, girl? So one of the things I wanted to talk about, I'm just going to go ahead and move into it. I don't really have a lot to say about the war. I thought I did, but I don't. I'm kind of nervous about it. Anybody who want to pull up and talk about this part, you can feel free. Just let me know. Let me go up on the... Okay. Queen. You want to pull up, Queen? Feel free. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Woo. I was thinking some of it could be a big time front. They selling that stuff a certain way. And I think what they're trying to do is convince everybody they're already 6 figures. I got this course to prove it. Ha ha. And they're all collectively, telling a lie so they can, brag among themselves in 6 figures. That means something to people. I don't know why. But y'all, anybody feel free. It's an open panel. Talk about whatever. But I definitely going to get into the realm of relationships. What's up, Queen and Woo? And then what I got to do, let's see what's on my list after this. My list, I say, make eggs, make pancakes, cut the fruit, cut the watermelon, and then prep the corn. Okay, so I got to do watermelon and corn after this. So I got stuff to do. I can talk as long as I got some productivity happening here. This is stuff I got to do. I'm gonna eat, and then I'm gonna make the corn. Then I'm gonna do the watermelon. Y'all like my little pancake thing? Eat your pancakes, girl. Eat them damn pancakes. And I got my coffee, my decaf coffee. So one of the things I want to talk about in terms of relationships and online, y'all. So this is a great bridge. Perceptions of relationships, perceptions online. I think people are absolutely hilarious, because they assume a lot of things. God damn, I'm hot. Whew. That's why I said cooking with Kaya. I'm twerking in the kitchen. No, the hell you not. No, you not twerking in no damn kitchen. It's hot, okay? It's hot, and I got air conditioning. It's fucking hot. The more you cook, the hotter you get. I'm not twerking. I'm not dancing. I'm not doing shit. I'm trying to sit still, okay? But I'm drinking hot coffee. But that's all right. Woo, you said you're a little nervous. You nervous about the war? Is that what you were nervous about? Oh, that coffee's so goddamn good. Y'all, that Dunkin' Donuts. Get you a bag. That shit be good. Waffle House coffee used to be good. But y'all, where the hell did my fork go? But y'all, I I'm nervous in the sense that this is the beginning of the fall of the empire. And I live in the empire. Y'all live in the empire. Ain't nobody got time for this shit. Yeah, ain't nobody got time for this shit. You know, you don't want to walk around with a target on your back. And at this point, Trump has put us in a position where it's going to be a target on our collective back. I'm trying to go to Saudi Arabia soon, and I want to travel to the Middle East. And I'm gonna have I'm gonna end up fuck around and not be able to talk. I don't want people to know I'm American. I don't want to travel like that. Hostile environments. Because the thing is, you think, oh, I'm in Saudi Arabia. Well, there's a Iranian right there. There's a Gazan right there. They feeling some kind of way. You can't hide from the world. You see what I'm saying? It's people everywhere. There's Iranians here. They feeling some kind of way. There's people feeling some kind of way everywhere. It's not a good thing. So, yeah, it's got me nervous. And I'm following Candace. They created a beast in Candace. What you need, sweet? That's not macaroni and cheese. That's eggs. That's cheese eggs. Get some. Luna, eat them cheese eggs. I cooked that for you. You don't like it? Okay, just eat the pancakes and the sausage then. Oh, my God. Kids be killing me when you cook them good food and they don't want it. What the hell? So anyway, the thing I want to talk about is this. I'm gonna be relaxed about this part. Very relaxed. Let me say that. I'm glad to have talked to AB. A lot of people misperceive me. A lot of people misperceive me. They think I'm some kind of mean, evil bitch. I want to hurt people and all kind of stuff. I'm actually just a silly, goofy ass person who gets a kick out of talking shit. And some of it's coming from a place of truth and authenticity, but a lot of it, I'm just laughing at shit that I think is fucking funny. That's it. Some of this shit is hilarious, and that's why I'm talking about it. As a professional, I'm just using this. I'm not going back into the conversation, but as a professional, I know that you don't just enter any point of a career out of nowhere with very little background training experience, especially at an older age, and just rise to the top instantly. I ain't never seen that shit. And honestly, they have to really push people to pick younger teachers. A lot of people don't like younger teachers because they figure you're probably going to do this for 3 months and quit, right? People want tried and true. They want to know you got a skill set, you got passion, you got experience, you have the skills, you've been doing this, you've been building yourself. They prefer that. So it's not always easy for young teachers with no experience to just jump out here. And I don't think any field just opens the door wide open. They want to understand career gaps. What have you been doing all this time? What background do you have that led you here? People have questions, okay? You said Candace told soldiers to go AWOL. I can't get with that. She did? She told soldiers to go AWOL. Mm. As a person who comes from a military family, I have a lot of respect for the military. But the respect I have for the military is based on the military being um, a tool for good government. You know, me. That's how I see our military. That's the part I have respect for. Bullying and killing children and stuff like that, and supporting bombing babies and pregnant women. I ain't got no respect for that. And I don't know what you do once you sign up for the military because you in it, and they own you. You on contract. You know, and I guess it's just like teaching. You got to get out of there. I mean, you don't like the way the war is going. It's very complicated. But when it comes to relationships, I want to speak on that. When it comes to relationships online, I think it's very interesting because people, they think they know you. They think they understand what makes you tick. Do y'all know how many times I have seen people, because I'm trolling and talking and being silly, how many people have said, no man will ever want you, man. You're so masculine. All these judgments, you know? I feel sorry for your husband. That shit cracks me up. You have no patriarchy in you. Men failed you, you know, this type of crap. And she said that, I'm gonna have to go look at it. Candace been on one, honey. Candace is a loose cannon now. They can't control her. They created a beast. They thought they had a puppet. Candace turning on white culture. They don't even know it yet. She criticizing white people more than damn Malcolm X and goddamn Farrakhan put together. She's showing them themselves. Candace got a mirror up now. She's showing white folks what they really about. She didn't got off of black people. And I give her credit for not following the Diddy shit. Leave Diddy alone. He gonna get his own hell, which is well deserved. Find some white folks to talk about. We need some justice. But anyway, I ate all my damn eggs and eat my sausage. But anyway, when it comes to relationships, people say such crazy stuff. I'm talking about people's perceptions of you. They will say stuff like, no man would date you, or no man would want to be with you, and all this type of stuff. Very nasty things people say in the chat. And I'm so baffled by it. And it's funny because there's this phenomenon where people come online and all of a sudden they become super perfect human beings. They hide behind avatars, y'all. You can't see their ass, but they got so much to say. Look, this is my arm. Y'all see my arm? Let me show the other arm. This is my arm. Somebody said in BGS's chat that I had lunch lady arms. I said, this son of a bitch. Okay. Now, see, if I really cared that much about what people say or think, I probably wouldn't even come on camera. I don't have a problem coming on camera. I prefer to come on camera, actually. I find it easier to talk and connect with people to come online on camera. I started out that way. When I was with Taharka Bay, I used to get on camera all the time. But I'm trying to think, did I do that? I think I might have with Peso's channel. I may have. I don't remember. But you do understand that when you eat your pancakes, girl, you do understand that when you come online with your image, it can look strange. So, for example, if everybody on the panel has an avatar and here you are sitting up there, are you trying to get attention? Do you want people to look at you, focus on you? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that comes into play. Not that you give a fuck, but I'm just saying. So some of the times that's why people don't use come on camera, because it looks like, among a sea of avatars on the panel, you look like you are seeking some kind of attention. So that's one reason why. But I think that it takes people who are very secure with themselves to come online. And I say that, let me see if I can put this, let me do the guest, let me do invite guests. Let me put that up again in case anybody want to come up. Because I'm just rambling about my perceptions. And then I'll talk about, when I get done eating, I'll talk about my background in propaganda. Okay, so there's that. That's the link in case anybody wants to hear it. But yeah, so the person said, oh, May's got lunch lady arms, This highly critical, I'm so perfect, I can talk about other people. But these people are so insecure. The ones who talk the most trash, they cannot come on camera. They will not come on camera. You know, they say all this stuff about somebody, but they ass will not come on camera to say they like. They scared to death to be seen. And there's some monsters behind these cameras, y'all. So you think I'm worried about it when somebody say something mean about me? And I'm secure. I'm who I'm gonna be in life. And guess what? If somebody don't like me, this is not fucking high school. Do you think I give a whole fuck? Do you think I care? I'm a grown ass woman. My success in life and everything else I got going on is not defined by no motherfucking online people, strangers who I do not know. Y'all understand what I'm saying? I could give two flying fucks. And I suggest if you don't have the same, I'm not saying you want to come online, but I suggest if you do come online, have the same attitude. These people are strangers. They don't pay no bills. They'll never meet you. And they 9 times out of 10, they sit in they sorry, lame, broke ass on the internet, complaining and crying, and they don't have half of what you have and never will. And they sit up there trying to pretend that they do, judging. You see what I'm saying? It ain't about nothing. It ain't about nothing. So I pay people no mind, but I do find it funny. I absolutely do find it funny how I've had these red pill men say stuff about me in the chat or even in the comments after the fact. Who's guilty? BGS's camp. Oh, they got so much to say. So much to say. I put my wedding pictures up. I'm not hiding from nobody. This shit is good, y'all. All these berries and pancakes. I put it up. I'm not bragging, but these bastards keep saying, ain't nobody married her. She ain't got no husband. No man will put up with her. Man, you have no idea who people are offline. You have no idea who people are offline. Do you really think I show my authentic self? Really? The silly, goofy part of me is authentic. That's authentic, but nobody will actually really ever know what somebody else is like with their partner, with their boyfriend, with their girlfriend. You don't show that side of yourself because it's not for that audience. It's not for them. But these are mostly the guys that's talking that shit. Oh, let me see. Okay, I gotta make sure. I see the hole. The strawberry got a little hole in it. Let me get sure no worm in there. Okay, no worm. Let's come out the garden, y'all. But you're not gonna know nobody. You're not gonna know what makes them tick. And so this was one of the things that I was gonna say. They swear, and I'm not here to prove nothing to nobody, because I don't have to, right? But these dudes swear I'm some kind of mean woman and I dominate my husband. Do you know how funny that is to me? Go ahead, girl. You can go. You gonna eat chicken? You want chicken instead? Are you done? Yes or no? Are you done? Luna, are you done? Why are you wasting time? Eat that food. Don't let make a mother mad at them when you cook them good food and they just looking at it. Huh? I don't know what you said. I'm gonna finish this all. Oh, you're gonna finish it all? Okay. Do you want more syrup? Or you got enough? More syrup. More syrup? Okay. You silly girl. Eat this food. This is good food. I'm put these eggs and hold them. So anyway, let me say this. This is so funny to me. This is so absolutely funny to me because I have seen these guys, right? And they're saying stuff like, I bet she's only talking to her husband. I mean, she's only talking online to these men like this because she can't be fussing at her husband. She can't talk to him like that because he's not home. Like I berate. I just like the stuff that they say. I find absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. And this part, I'm not getting deep into it, but the part that really I find funny is this idea that I am a boss bitch and I'm in my home fussing and cussing and talking crazy to my husband. I find that absolutely funny. And I have to be honest with y'all, only it's so opposite of that. So opposite of that. That's why I just got to laugh at people because they don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. And they just assume a lot of this stuff. And I'll hint at it. I won't go into it deep. But my actual husband has a very dominant personality. But see, these guys don't know anything about it. They don't know anything about it because they think dominance. I'm not talking about toxic masculinity. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you the truth. They think that dominance is something that people do as force. Okay? Maybe it's just flow. Maybe it's flow. Dominance is not forcing somebody. See, their whole thing is that's what the whole SBE thing is about. If you think about it, it's about I gotta force you to be a better woman. I gotta force you to put clothes on. I gotta force you to change your nature. I gotta force you to close your legs. I gotta put pressure on you. See, these guys, they don't know enough. They don't know anything about power and power dynamics. They don't know anything. Power dynamics, let me say this, can be one of the most sexy things in a relationship. You're done? Okay, go ahead. You're done. You ate most of it. Good job. She's in the dining room. Power dynamics in a relationship can be one of the most sexy things that a couple has going. And I'm not necessarily saying sexual. I'm not having a sexual conversation. Talking about power dynamics. There's a give and there's a take, right? And for the give and take to work, for example, maybe one person, right? One person is, I guess you would say, open to suggestion. A person who likes to make the other person happy. And it creates pleasure for that person to make the other person happy in that particular way. And that works for people. The other person, being a dominant natured person, they don't demand the compliance. They don't demand it. They expect it. They don't need to force it, but they constantly reinforce it. So I'm just saying that to say that there's something sexy and functional about the power plays between men and women. Power dynamics between men and women. It can be very functional and it doesn't look like what these guys who have no experience, it doesn't look like what they think it'll look like. It just doesn't. It doesn't. A lot of them think you have to be mean and stern and forceful and pushy and bossy. And really, it doesn't take all that. But these guys don't have any experience with it. They have no experience at all with women. They don't have any power dynamic experiences. Nothing. They don't understand what they desire, what they think they desire. They don't understand it. And I'm saying there's different extremes of this, right? Submissive and dominant men, submissive women and dominant men. There's different levels to this shit. It's different levels. There are extremes. And women can be the opposite role, right? There are women who are dominant and they have submissive men. That exists. But what I'm speaking on particularly is a lot of times what they think they want to be, which is a dominant male. They don't have a clue about it. They have no experience with it. What they're talking about and what they're focused on is toxic masculinity. And I was talking about that before. Um, in my relationship, I have naturally been, I'm just being honest, I have naturally been since I was younger in a relationship, a submissive woman. But it's not like the type that they think. That's what I'm saying. Their idea of submission, I try not to get into the conversation because they don't know enough. They think submissive means dumb. They think submissive is subdued by force. They don't understand how it actually works. The interplay between the person who gives their will and the person who accepts it. They don't understand anything about that. And they never will. Because the level of sophistication that it would take for them to get there, they're not even capable. They're so busy trying to bark, trying to tell a bitch off, right? They'll never get there. But I'll speak on it just briefly. That there is a dynamic in which you give your will because you trust. You give your will because you know what you're going to get in return, right? You give your will because there's structure and expectation. And as long as you're operating within those paradigms, there's great reward. That's the type of stuff these dudes do not understand. They love hollering about, oh, I need a submissive woman. Do you know what it takes to shape and mold a woman into a submissive? Do you know what it takes? No, you don't. You have no idea. First of all, her will to be submissive is the most important thing. And it's a dance of trust. It's a dance of understanding. It's a dance of expectations, boundaries, and respect. It's a whole bunch of stuff in that. It's a whole bunch of stuff. And it's built over time. You can't do that with people you just dating. I want somebody to be submissive to me on day one. I'm dating this church. Are you serious? You really think somebody's going to be submissive to you on day one they just met you? You have to earn submission. It's not given like that. Trust is not built like that. Respect is not built like that. These dudes don't have any clue about relationships. Building over time, layers, investment. They don't get it. They don't get it. They want everything instant, just like they want to get a damn instant degree. And I think it's hilarious. I think it's absolutely hilarious. And so I know the reason why I'm speaking on this is because I had shown a couple of my books. In my books, I had a book called The Submissive Wife and The Surrendered Wife and some other things. Just a little bit. I didn't show all of my stuff. I just showed some. And I saw people in the comments. And I'm not that sensitive because I know these are incels. I know these are incels and lost men. But it made me want to at least talk about it and address it. And unfortunately, I would say that a lot of people will never get a chance to have a relationship with power dynamics in it because they can't find somebody who's trustworthy or they can't find somebody who is respectful because it takes that on both ends, you know, for you to be submissive to somebody. You have to trust them. You have to give over a certain amount of your will or your security and all kind of other stuff. And you can't do that with an idiot. And so some of these men, I can't find submissive women. That's because submissive women will never be attracted to you. You can't be trusted. You're not worthy. And these are the conversations nobody wants to have. This is too real. This type of conversation is too real. You're not the type of person somebody wants to invest in emotionally to get to a place of mutual respect and boundaries. To pass over their will to you. You don't have it. You don't got it, dude. You simply don't got it. And you might never get it. And that's the conversation they don't want to have. They just like using terminology. I need a submissive woman. I'm a dominant male. No, you're not. And for people who have looked into and lived the lifestyle in certain ways, they know that it's all bullshit. All that stuff they talking is bullshit. They don't know the nature of submission. They don't know the nature of dominance. They don't understand power and power plays. They don't understand anything. They don't understand none of it. They just complaining about something they can't have. And I find that very interesting. But I mean, if you don't come across people who are even capable of that, I guess you just never will get exposed to it. So it becomes like a wandering dream. You know what I mean? This submissive woman. And that's the thing. They think a submissive woman is a woman who's whispering. Who the fuck is a whispering bitch? I just want to know. A whispering bitch has nothing to do. I'm going to talk like this, and I'm going to speak very little. You call that submission? You stupid ass. Submissive women don't argue with you. submissive women submissive women don't curse. Are you serious? They have no freaking idea or anything. It's all about boundaries, respect, and expectations. Okay? It's about reward and punishment. And punishment is not, about reward is and punishment. Punishment is not about you slapping a bitch, cussing out. It's not about that. It's about the denial of an access to certain things. It's the waiting process, building patience. It's a whole lot of shit, and they don't fucking get it. So people want to play with stuff that they're not prepared for. They want to have access and experience things that they are not simply worthy of. I just think it's funny. And they throw these words around and they talk shit about other people and they don't have any freaking idea. They don't have any idea. So I find it hilarious. I look at these comments they're making about me. May is so this and she's so that. She must run her husband down. And I was like, these motherfuckers have no idea who I'm married to and the dynamics at all. The shit is absolutely funny. Absolutely. It's hilarious to me because I know the real deal. I know the real deal, okay? And I'm not just saying that because I wouldn't even be addressing this if that was exactly the truth. I'd just be like, yeah, that's how it is. Uh-huh. But my husband is a very dominant man. And I kind of hinted at some of that in certain ways. I talked about the business, which is supposed to be my business, but I can't seem to work at my own business. I'm not allowed. I don't know if y'all noticed that. And I struggle with that sometimes, I struggle with that sometimes. Yeah, that's all I can say. Um, and there's a certain amount of submission in there that makes me struggle with that, because as far as I'm concerned, I can pick up boxes, I can do this, I can do that, I can da 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 da. But there's this dynamic at play. It is what it is, It's a trade-off. So as much as I want to do certain things, I'm not allowed. And me and Queen have actually had some extensive conversations about that. We've had quite a bit of conversations about that. And then the other thing I was going to say is I also was talking about the whole idea of rewards. And I'm not getting sexual here. Don't think I am, because this is not what I'm talking about is not sexual. I'm just talking about power dynamics. And that's one of the things that also comes into play when we talk about, you think these women are going to submit to you. And what do they get in return? See, they just think that just because I'm a man, I just get my way all the time. It doesn't work like that. Dominance, doms, men who dominate women, they understand that there is a reward. They understand that they have to pay. There's a cost to having a submissive woman. They understand that. These dudes want something for nothing. They think somebody just gonna kiss their ass. It don't work like that. And all these other, like, game coaches and shit. Yeah, man, they just want me for me. No, nothing works like that in the world. Nobody wants to tell y'all the truth. Man, y'all got wives, but y'all still tricks. Every man on the planet is a trick, okay? If we're honest. Because women are not something for nothing. There's an exchange, actually. But as an ongoing relationship, there's never a something for nothing. An ongoing relationship, there's an exchange. It's a dance, right? There's rules to this shit. There's rules to this shit. There's something deeper going on. They just using words. They don't understand. Let me give you guys an idea. When I say that there's something that has to be given for something, there's never something for nothing between men and women, especially dominant and submissive women. Dominant men, submissive women. There's a fucking trade-off always. Okay? That loyalty has a price. Listening to you, even when we don't agree with what you're saying, choosing to be humble, everything's a choice. There's a price to that. You understand? You don't get something for nothing. There is a trade-off for that. There's a reward somewhere. I would argue that both people get a reward, but the dynamic between the dominated and the dominator, the dominated person or the submissive person is looking for a reward. Okay? I'm not trying to compare. I'm just saying, I'm trying to give y'all a little science here. I'm not trying to compare anybody to dogs. But how many of y'all have ever seen a dog, or any life form for that matter, participate, cooperate, just because? Where have you seen that at? I've had multiple dogs in my life, and also students. I mean, I'm not trying to, I don't want to get the dog thing in there and confuse the matter. Students work for what? Fucking grades. Students work for stickers. Students work for awards, acknowledgement. They work for a payoff. Why do we go to work? Why do we go to work? We go to work for pay. We go to work to be promoted. We go to work for a paycheck, stability. We want something, and it's not for nothing. And so I just find it very, very interesting that these unfortunate, inexperienced, red pill, raging bastards really expect submission from women, and there's nothing to be gained from the women for being submissive. You are absolutely nuts. You are absolutely crazy. That shit don't work like that. Ain't nobody that good out here, that sexy, that whatever, that somebody's out here just doing something for nothing. It's just not how things work, no matter how you want to believe. But lack of experience will make you think that. There's a trade-off in everything, especially long-term relationships. Let me continue. So in my situation, where I have a dominant husband and I'm an active submissive wife, intentional doesn't look like what you might think. And y'all ain't gonna never know me like that anyway, because we're online. And that's not what I present. Okay? But in this situation, I have hinted at it and I talked about it. How I might request something, right? I request something. And we've been together so long. We've been doing this dance for so long. Everything understood don't have to be said. Everything understood don't have to be said. When you've been dancing that dance for a long time, almost 20 years, everything understood don't have to be said. But it's the interplay of power. That's interesting. That keeps things exciting, honestly. So I have requests, desires, and I share those desires. And they can be small, they can be large, they can be all kinds of different things. I never know where my mind might go. Some are very long term, some are short term. And my husband is the master of time and timing. And he keeps the time. He determines, and only he determines when I have gained a reward. That might be a month, it might be a year, it might be multiple years. I'm just saying these are just the type of things that I'm saying. And it's an interplay. And I'm given opportunities, to prove that I am worthy of what I desire in lots of different ways. And I'm not trying to like go too deep, but I'm just giving an example. And it was so funny because this what do you call it? This what do you call it? This damn mixer. This mixer came up. Some asshole. Why are you making such a big deal out of that mixer? And I kind of like, I kind of teased the idea of it slightly, kind of. And I didn't intend to talk about it like that. I didn't realize how much energy I guess I had put around the mixer. I didn't realize how much. But people picked up on it. What's the big deal about the damn mixer? Because there was so much more. There's power dynamics at play. That's why. So it meant a lot more to me, and that's obvious. Because just buy the damn mixer. What's the big deal? Well, yeah, there's power dynamics, there's desire, and there's earning, and there's reward. That's what was at play. And I didn't intend to, make that evident. But apparently it came out when I kept getting so excited about it. It's taken a long time for me to earn the damn mixer, okay? So in a lot of different ways. But it's about attitude, it's about correction, it's about a lot of stuff, And so when I first met my husband, he introduced me to this understanding of it wasn't my own idea. It was, didn't come from me, but it was something he introduced me to naturally. And that has been a strong part of our marriage. So I find it absolutely funny when I live my life as a sub, literally, to my husband in the most realest ways, to have, people say, oh, you probably berate him and you probably do this and you dominate. That shit is, I said, I'd be like, baby, if you could only see the humble levels I operate on to keep my place in my space as a submissive wife. If you could only see, okay? But that's not for the public. So I have to just say this again. People need to mind your business and stop making assumptions about people. And what I'm saying is gonna go in one ear and out the other. These motherfuckers, I'm probably talking way over their head. This is something they could never fucking understand. And God forbid, I know they will never have the opportunity to experience a truly submissive wife, because they're not even the type that could attract a woman who could trust in them or want to be bothered with them and respect them to that level. Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. And so all these assumptions about what a submissive woman, she whispers and she doesn't curse. You guys are dumb. Y'all are so dumb. Y'all don't have any. You have no idea who people are and how they operate in their real lives. You have no fucking idea. And the ones that's whispering, them the ones you need to worry about. The ones putting on these airs and pretending and wearing sundresses, them the bitches you need to be worried about, okay? They the ones you need to be worried about. Because that's an act. That's a stereotype. Please stop the stereotypes. But anyhow, all right, I didn't even finish my thoughts. I think I'm done. I'm finished with this. All right. So anyhow, anybody have any thoughts? I think I'm gonna end stream and then I'll come back and talk about once I gotta clean up around here some because I don't want to tear the damn kitchen. If I keep cooking and I don't clean up, then I'll fuck around and the kitchen will be fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It'll be so tore up and I gotta start all over again. So I'm gonna clean up and then I'll come back and I'm gonna cut the watermelon, make the corn. And I'm trying to think, I'm supposed to make these rice paper rolls, but I ain't feeling like it right now. Uh-uh. I'm not gonna make the rice paper rolls. My husband wants these egg rolls too. I'm gonna surprise him actually. He didn't ask me for them. I'm gonna surprise him. And see, that's the thing right there that I was talking about. A submissive wife. This is something these dudes will never understand. A submissive wife who is taking on the role of a submissive wife. She's going to do things to please you. She's gonna find out what you like and do that shit all the time. Okay? She's looking for opportunity to please you. These dudes will never understand that. They think that submission is about taking somebody's shit, letting somebody talk to you crazy and demean you. You acting dumb and playing dumb like you don't have a brain. They have no idea what it actually is. And that's because it's not for them. You understand? It's not for them. They'll never know. They just gonna keep using them words. I'm a dominant man. I need a submissive woman. Oh, give me a break. Give me a break. You are not ready for the science or the understanding of submissive and dominant power dynamics. Baby, you couldn't last a day. They'll be laughing. That's what's gonna happen when you try to dominate a submissive woman who's truly submissive and you're not actually a dominant man, they're gonna laugh at your ass. They're gonna fucking laugh. That's what's gonna happen. Because it's not authentic. It's some silly ass stereotype. Anyhow, let me clean my kitchen. And I shall come back in a little while. And I think I'm just gonna talk about my propaganda and what I do and how that's going. Ashe. Appreciate y'all. Bye. Damn, how do I end it? Okay, here you go.